Last week, Elon Musk held an all hands employee meeting where he talked about a number of things upcoming, but one of them that was kind of interesting was the looming age of abundance. What does that mean? How does it work? Well, could everyone get a bot? Could everyone put those bots to work? Could you have everything you want all the time? Could you get all your home repairs done for free, all your painting and whatever? How would this actually work? And is it even possible? That's what we're going to discuss. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. I am joined by Randy Kirk. And Randy Kirk can be a contentious guest at times. So I've been asked by a couple people to put his face in the thumbnail so that if they don't want to watch, they don't have to watch. But what that means is if you enjoy Randy Kirk and you see him in the thumbnail, you now have to watch. It is how we balance it out because there are people who really enjoy your appearances on the show.
Oh, good. At least three.
Yeah.
My mom, she tries to always watch.
She watches my show.
At 99, no.
No, but she's a big fan, so that's all that matters. And so, yeah, if you enjoy Randy and you see him in the thumbnail, you're obligated to click. It's just how it works. And because it appears I have maxed out my referrals, maybe you can use Randy's referral credit to buy your next Tesla. Who knows? It's next, your first Tesla. You don't get to use the referral credit but once. So that is great. All right. So with that said, last week, there was the big meeting, the all hands meeting, and he mentioned the abundance. Explain to me what he was talking about and what it means.
Well, first of all, one of the things I talk about Elon Musk in the original book, The Elon Musk Method, is that he is one of the most incredible leaders of all time. And if you're going to be an incredible leader, you have to have clarity of mission. You want to be able to share your clear-cut mission with your employees, with your vendors, with your customers, with your investor. I mean, everybody around you, all the stakeholders need to know what is the mission here. And the clearer the mission, the better you articulate it, the more inclined people are to say, hey, I like that idea. I will follow that idea. Even if I don't understand what you're doing today, I'm in for the mission. Well, the mission has been advancing or accelerating the future of renewable energy or renewables in general. And slowly but surely, as we've gotten into robots and other things, it was time for a refresh, time for an even broader and more out there kind of mission statement. And the mission statement is abundant, renewable abundance for everyone. And that is, I think, every one of those words has tremendous meaning, in particular the for everyone message, because in the first industrial revolution, we saw the very lowest poverty level people dramatically increase what they had in terms of living on a daily basis. In this industrial revolution, I think we're going to see the lowest poverty levels move all the way to middle class. And I think that's kind of what he's talking about.
My grandmother was one of those very, very poor people in a not industrialized area of Ireland. And her chore, as even a teenager, was to go out and chop moss to use in the fire. That's how you heat your home. And then she, of course, moved to the U.S., where I don't think she ever heated her home again. She was very frugal. So there's no moss to chop in Queens. So I'm going to lose my job at the widget factory. I push pallets around all day. Robots can push pallets around as good as me and cheaper. What will I do for money? How does this help me?
Well, you never actually know how these things are going to work out. It's always shocking and amazing. At the turn of before the turn of the 20th century, 90% of the population were farmers. So all of them found jobs in the new environment. Not more than, I think, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, the number one job in America was secretary. That job is no longer there. Bank teller, there's another one. You could just keep going down the list of these huge job categories that are gone. But we've found what most people think of as higher level, more productive kinds of things to do. And we still have a 4.1% unemployment rate. So, what will the future be? Well, it might be managing 5 robots that now move those pallets around. That would be one kind of approach. Another, and maybe it's even a higher level in that same factory where you're managing all of the robots in that factory, or you're managing the production of a specific aspect of the factory. So moving up in category is one possibility, but I've listed in the past all kinds of things that I think are going to be out there. One of them, which would be kind of fun, is I think there will be lots and lots and lots and lots of professional athletes, professional gamers. And I think we're already seeing this happening in baseball, where the semi pro leagues are getting very good crowds. And so then there'll be a semi pro, and maybe there'll be a paid for 12-year-old league. I mean, who knows? But athletics, I think, will become a very big deal, as well as professional gamers, where people go to watch gamers play, et cetera, et cetera. So there's lots and lots of new jobs that will be popping up.
That is an interesting idea. When I sold broadcast electronics in the 90s for a company in Bellevue, Washington, that provided mostly to TV stations and schools and institutions, home studios had just become a thing. And the engineers who worked there despised it. This is ridiculous. A home recording studio? What's next? A home film studio?
Oh,
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's what we have now. You can, for $10,000, $20,000 worth of equipment, make a Hollywood level movie, period. That's just how it is now. You can spend as much as you want. You can spend infinity dollars if you'd like, but you don't have to. So the problem there I'm seeing is I encountered this when I was dealing with minimum wage advocacy. Washington State has a very good minimum wage. When SeaTac was the first city to get a $15 minimum wage in the state of Washington, I ended up party to 2 lawsuits because the anti-campaign managed to get my signatures thrown off the ballot. So I was the plaintiff in 2 lawsuits to get my signature that I duly signed counted on the petition to get it on the ballot. At any rate, people said, why do we need higher wages? If you go to McDonald's and you're making minimum wage, guess what? You can become a manager. And that's great. That's true. One can become a manager. Problem is, for every manager, there's 20 people under them who can't become managers because that position's taken. It's like the enterprise model of middle management. I don't know if you've ever been to an enterprise or known someone who's worked at one, but everyone there is a manager in training. Everyone. Because you will get your own branch. It's like, well, that's too many branches. We'll run out of atoms in the universe if this is our business model. So this is a great idea for some, but maybe not for all. I like your idea on sports and creative things, but you still need money to actually participate in those at any level. So if we've got abundance, how do we make sure that everyone gets the abundance?
yeah.
Because you and I can buy an Optimus or 2 or 10, and then we can use them for ourselves, which is great. That'll save money, but it won't make money. You can rent them out, but only until everybody's got one. And then why would someone rent mine if they've already got them? And how will they pay me if they also don't have a job?
Yeah, so all of those things, again, I think those things kind of work their way out in any kind of capitalistic system. So in the beginning, I think that will be another major category. Will be people that own assets that they do put out for rent. I have done this a lot of times in my life. I love the rental business. I had a rental car business. I used Turo to put cars out in a later time in my life. So renting things out, it will be a big deal. Renting your robot, renting your car, maybe, and people are already renting their homes, renting second homes. This will be a big part of the coming culture. Another possibility that I've talked about is vacation land. So right now, when I first started traveling 55 years ago, anyway, I'd get on a cruise ship. It would have 5 decks. It would have maybe 1,000 people and 1,000 people on the crew. Now you get on a cruise ship, it's got 12 or 14 decks. It has 5,000 people traveling and 3,000 people on the crew. I mean, it's just crazy, and they can't build them fast enough. So the travel business is growing and growing because of why? Because of abundance, because more and more people have the wealth to be able to travel. And that, of course, creates the jobs for people to work on the cruise ships. And this will be true for millions and millions of millions, well, tens of thousands, at least maybe hundreds of thousands of locations, like a Las Vegas, which was built out of the desert. You will have other locations that will be built out of the desert or off of what might not have been a good enough seashore location now is a good enough seashore location to create another place for people to go because, you know, there's not enough spots now in Venice, California. You just can't even get in. So now you create a place which might not have been that great earlier, but it's good enough for the next round of folks.
So the problem I keep coming back to is this will be great for people who already have money, for people who are established in the before times. A good comparison would be my kids are worried that they will never be able to succeed on YouTube or something like that because all of the AI is better than them. It is faster than them. It doesn't sleep. And it makes content that, while not as good as perhaps what a human can make, a lot of people don't care. It's good enough. And it floods the market. I consider myself lucky to have begun this channel before AI was a thing. I was able to attach even this mug to it, and that has value. But for other people, I'm less convinced that will work. There are people whose highest aspiration in life is to punch a clock and make a widget, push pallets. There's nothing wrong with that, but those jobs are going to be gone, and I can't see them transitioning to athlete or musician or whatever. I agree that there will always be a place for a lot of those things. Horses still exist, but the horse industry is really gone. It is effectively.
So one of the new industries that's already picking up is the bespoke industry. So, and that's not a bicycle thing. I know you guys think all I talk about is bicycles, but
It
bespoke,
is.
but bespoke, custom made by a human. Okay, not made in automation, not made by a bot, but rather it's custom made by a human. And so you have Etsy and other places which are growing and growing like crazy because people want to have something. So there will be this characteristic throughout things. So you mentioned in terms of influencers, I think that people will, yeah, there will be certain videos out there that people will be accepting of the fact that it's not a human that they're seeing in the video, or a human speaking in the video that's all automated. But I think there will be a way that we will be able to let people know, no, this is a real human, and people will be inclined to go with the real human because, well, somebody made the example a little while ago. It's been a very, very long time that Big Blue was invented and was the number one chess player in the world. And now the computer capability on chess is like, humans can't even come close. But nobody goes to watch computers play chess with each other. People go and watch people play chess with each other. So I think the bespoke industry will be another big category.
Worth mentioning, Big Blue was an ox, Deep Blue was a
Oh, Deep
computer.
Blue. Oh,
Uh,
wow. There you go.
but it's fun to think about a giant ox playing
There
chess
you go.
very, very well, surprisingly well for an ox. But you got to figure his brain is the size of a dumpster. The problem with the Etsy comparison is people on Etsy ain't making money. They're making $100, $200 a month if they're lucky. It's a very, very tough racket, and they're competing with people who are cheating and getting factory made stuff that, sure, it was made by hand in a factory in a very low paying country. So it's still tough. It's still tough. And I don't know the solution. In the comments, I, of course, welcome what you guys think is the solution. But the problem I see is that, especially in a capitalist country, wealth tends to concentrate. And this is a very capitalist idea that we will be having all these bots. If I can get 5 bots, 10 bots, I'm one of the first movers. I'm going to be putting people out of work, people who themselves can't afford a bot. And even if they do, what are they going to do? Rent it to me? I've already got some. So they could, you will run out of customers who need them if everybody's got them.
So you did also we did also leave out the flip side of the situation. So what's going to happen is one of the reasons there'll be abundance is because the cost of things will reduce to almost nothing. So your energy bill, your transportation bill, etc., these things will reduce to almost nothing. Even, believe it or not, even homes will go down in terms of their what they cost. The home itself, not necessarily the property it's on, but the that it costs to build the home will go down. So everything you own, everything that you buy, groceries, everything else is going to go down dramatically as we bring in the robots. Well, now if your requirement to live is, instead of $100,000 a year for a middle class life, it's $20,000 a year for a middle class life, then all of a sudden, all of the things that you're talking about become a lot easier. So your $100 a day on Etsy might be enough, and maybe you're making another $100 a day in terms of renting out your bot. Yeah, the rich person no longer needs you to send the bot over to wash the windows, but maybe your neighborhood that you're in, there's lots of people that haven't bought their bot yet. And so you now have 10 people on the bot route that go out and wash the windows once a month or something. There's going to be a million new things, millions of new things that are going to come up, as they always do, when the wealth opportunity, when people become wealthier as a culture, as the culture becomes wealthier, then people want things that they couldn't have possibly afforded previously. Mine is always the same. I always have the same thing. I want the bot to come in and give me that amazing back rub. It's a back rub, man. To the right? No, no, a little deeper. No, no, yeah, right there. Yeah, get.
But that's one of those jobs that I would think would be the last to be replaced by bots, just because I imagine humans prefer human touch.
Yeah.
But I think it highlights the depth of the concern. I know in the comments people are going to be screaming out universal basic income. I've made a video on that and why I think it is time to have the discussion, but not time to implement it. It is too soon because, like you just said, Randy, we don't know what the dollar figure is for survival in a post scarcity
Right.
world. It could be that 500 a month is enough. If your house is free and your energy is free and your food is free, what do you even need money for? So those are things that are discussed in that video. Please watch that before going off the deep end about universal basic income. We're not ignoring it. It's just that we've already covered it. So guys, do me a favor. If you would, head over to Randy Kirk's channel, find out what he's up to. I don't know. I haven't had time to keep tabs on him lately. I'm concerned that he might be up to no good. Only way to find out, watch all of his videos for the last week and report back. So go ahead and pause this video now. Go do that. And everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you do, and stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on April 1st, when I've got a number of videos coming out that are going to be, a bit on brand for Brian.